Hey guys, Natalia Schneimler here. I help boy moms have a better relationship with their sons and themselves by teaching them the tools how to manage their mind so that when anything comes up in life, they know exactly how to take care of themselves and their kid. Hey guys, how are you doing? I just took a walk and decided I need to record this for you because it's about not doing enough and feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you're inadequate. I just coached someone on this, and I remembered that I had the exact same situation a few years ago. So I'm sure if I had this and my client had this, that you will also encounter that in your life sometime. And of course, as a woman, as a mom, you will always find areas where you're thinking, I'm not doing enough, I'm not something enough. So here's how I want you to think about it. So it's going to show up for you no matter what you do. So whether you do one job and switch to another job, you're going to bring this mindset with you. If you have it, you're going to bring the mindset with you wherever you go until you address the mindset. So here's what happened with my client. She switched from doing her business to doing something else. And at first it feels like a great relief, right? You feel great, the excitement of doing something new and having a different schedule and doing something different. It feels great. It feels really refreshing. But after a while, your old mindset shows up and says, you're not doing enough. You should be doing more. And what did you do today? And that's exactly what my client experienced. And she said, you know what, before when I had my business, I felt a sense of accomplishment. But as we started talking, she remembered that actually back when she ran a business, she found other ways to feel like she was not doing enough. Not having enough clients, not posting enough, not marketing enough, whatever. Her mind created all these other ways to give her the same feeling of inadequacy, of not good enough, sadness, disappointment. And so her experiences now without the business is simply, it doesn't matter what she's doing, the business or no business, is that her mindset stayed the same. And so it just finds new proof in whatever you're doing now to point to the same idea that it's not enough. And that's her example. My own example was switching back and forth between focusing on my business more versus focusing on my kids more. Each time I would have a bit of a relief from whatever I was doing and having a break from it and doing something fresh and exciting to be with my kids or excited to focus on my business more. But after a while, again, the same mindset would show up and I would think, I'm not doing enough. I'm not successful enough at this, whether with the kids or with the business. And I noticed that each time I would switch, it wasn't that many times, but each time I saw it and I knew it right away. Oh, here you are. Right. It's not the business. It's not the kids. It's not what I'm doing. It's what's in my head. What am I thinking? And so knowing that this is just going to show up for us is almost all of the battle, because then we don't have to pay it so much attention. And as you know, there's a saying, all roads lead to Rome. And this, in our world of mental health and life coaching, what we mean by it is that whatever problem you think you have or you're thinking about or in your mind, if you dig deep enough, it will always point to the same thing, which is, I'm not good enough. And what do we do with it? What actually is the best thing to do with it is nothing, because this is a human condition that will always be there. We'll always be feeling like we're missing something. And if we keep trying to fix it, it's just going to be an ongoing forever activity. Versus, here's what I suggest. 2 steps. First step number 1, expect that you're always going to feel some sort of not enoughness and not really argue with that much. Agree with it. Be like, yeah, you're right. And very important, step number 2, I think, is to focus on what you want and create your own kind of checklist of success criteria, your own values that you actually can control. Not like what other people are going to think about you or how much money you make, nothing like that. More like what is important to you and how are you going to measure your day, like yourself in your day. What is important to you? If family is important to you, okay, then we can translate into show up for my family, take care of my family. Okay, that's number 1. I'm just making these up. For me, right, this is it. Taking care of myself, taking care of my family, contributing to the world by doing this podcast is important to me because that's how I channel my creativity, and it feels really important to me to pass this on to you because it's so helpful to me that I feel a sense of obligation to really share it so that others can be helped as well. So that's really important to me. So that goes into my weekly checklist. Did I show up for that? That's important to me. I am on a mission to make your life better by any means I can, and that's how I do it. So take care of myself, take care of my family, contribute, and honor my creativity. And also, the other ways that I can also evaluate myself is, I wrote them down actually the other day, is leave things better than they were, which I love. I heard someone say it once, and I love it. Even just going into a bathroom, public bathroom or any bathroom, whenever I'm finishing up, I always make sure I leave it same or better than it was. Just clean, tidy, leave it better than it was before. And so if I try to bring that into everything I do, and that feels really good. That feels like part of my values that I can control. And the other part is fun. So have fun, be fun. I would like to be more fun. So because I sometimes I think I'm too serious or too negative, but I aspire to be more fun. So that's something I'm working on. And whenever I'm having so much fun, I actually feel really proud of myself. And you actually might know that because you listened to one of my episodes a while back that's called Having Fun as a Skill, because I do think it's a skill. And if you can't have fun, especially for the negative, serious types like myself, it takes effort. Not everyone is having fun easily. We see those people, they're just always having fun. No, for me, it's actually a skill. So those are my values that I can evaluate my day, my week, just my life. Am I showing up to things that are important to me? And am I showing up to them the way that's important to me? Like having fun and making things better, and also learning, right? Learning from them. I'm applying this always to my relationships, to making it better with my kids, with my husband. And so that requires constant, looking within myself and learning and making better and sharing with you. So those are my values. What are yours? What could be for you? And how can you just stop? First of all, you need to be aware that you're feeling like you're not doing enough. Then you can put it to rest and realize, okay, everyone suffers from this. Everyone has this sort of not enoughness, and I don't have to chase the 100% of full, enough, complete, satisfied. Then I can relax and actually focus my attention on what I want and what's important to me. And then that I can then, quote unquote, then I can decide, okay, that is enough. This is my definition of enough. But sometimes, once in a while, the feeling will come up. At the end of the day, you might think, oh, what have I done today? Not enough. And it's your job to not take it seriously. Just like I was telling my client, I have 4 kids, and I have worked very hard to appreciate all the work that I'm doing with the kids. Because in my head, it used to be the narration was always like, oh, yeah, whatever. Everyone does this. This doesn't count. This doesn't matter. It's not that much work. It's not that hard. But that didn't make me feel appreciated by myself. I wanted acknowledgement. I wanted credit. I wanted to feel like I'm doing a job that's a big job, and I wanted to be seen. So then I decided that it's my job to appreciate that. And so it took me a lot of work, and it still continues to take me a lot of work to remember that it is a job. It is a full-time job that I'm doing, and to appreciate it, to give it credit. And the amazing thing happens is that my downtime, my time off, I enjoy it so much more because I feel a sense of accomplishment, because I feel appreciated. I feel like I'm doing enough. But again, like I said, remember, it's taking me a lot of work to have a habit of my mind to actually see that, to appreciate it. So it doesn't just happen naturally. Maybe for some of us it happens, but for me, negativity is supernatural, and I don't often go to positivity right away. But that's just how our mind works. So that's what I have for you today. Remember that everything that's happening that you're feeling, the feeling of not enough, is a feeling that's coming from your thoughts. It's not actually coming from what you're doing. That's why it doesn't matter what you're going to be doing. It doesn't matter how long your to-do list. Like with my client, when we sat down and we wrote down all the things that she did in that one day, was a lot of things. It didn't matter. She still thought, I'm not doing enough, because her mind can think whatever it wants. If it's unsupervised, it just decides it's not enough. It doesn't even look at what she did. So you can take a look at what you did and write it down, and then show your mind and say, hey, let's connect. Please acknowledge I did all this. This is enough. I showed up for all the things that are important to me. But again, it's not what you're doing that's going to dictate how you're feeling. It's what you're deciding to think about it. So decide on purpose what's important to you, and it might take you a while to formulate this. Formulate what's important to you, and it might take you, it's an ongoing process. It might change, right? But if you have kids, if you have a family, if you're listening to this podcast, I am sure that your family values and your relationship values are super high on your list. So showing up for those is important to you, is my guess. And learning is important to you. That's why you're listening to this podcast. And taking care of yourself is also super important to you, again, if you're listening to this, because all of those things are what you're learning here. So that's what interests you. So those are your values. What else is your values? Your relationship with your husband. Is contribution on your list? Like creating something, making a world a better place? I bet it is, because I think it gives us a sense of fulfillment, accomplishment. It just makes us sing inside. It's super fun, and it uses that part of us that only creation can use. So is that part on your list? And are you showing up for it? Are you painting? Are you writing? Are you singing? Are you creating something at work that's exciting? Anything. See it. You're probably already doing it. So notice it, see it, acknowledge it, and then write it down. Showing up for this, check. I do it all the time. Awesome. I can feel good about that. All right. So this is what I have for you today. I love you all so much. If you need any help with your relationships, with your self-care, anything like that, I'm here for you. Go to my website, www.coachingnatalia.com. Go to sign up for a free mini session, and I'll see you on Zoom. Okay, guys, love you. Bye.
And I'm on the road.